Hello friends, I am Dr. Barbie Wasson with Riverpoint Family Acupuncture, and this is Riverpoint's podcast where we get to the point on all things acupuncture, health, and vitality in the River Valley. Today I want to take care of a little spring cleaning. Why, you might ask? Because we are stepping into something that, while it takes many by surprise, happens anyway and must be dealt with if you want to be feeling your best. Spring hits, the sun comes out, the snow melts, and instead of feeling light and energized, you feel irritated, snappy, maybe even a little ragey. And you're sitting there thinking, wait a second, it's spring. Aren't I supposed to feel better? We are going to spring clean some emotional buildup, the kind your body has been quietly holding on to all winter long. Spring doesn't just gently arrive, it pushes forward, and when it does, it pushes everything forward with it, including the things you have not fully processed yet. That irritation you can't explain, the tightness in your chest, the shorter fuse, that feeling like everything is just a little too much. Your body, like always, is talking. It's just a little louder and a little pushier than normal during spring season. Why? Because it's liver season, of course. Okay, maybe that's not so obvious to you, but the great minds of Chinese medicine have observed this for thousands of years. They have a pretty good idea of how it expresses itself and how it affects your health. The liver's job is to keep things moving, not just physically, but emotionally. It is responsible for the smooth flow of qi or energy. We'll call this your body's internal movement system. When that movement is smooth, you feel like yourself. Clear, calm, decisive, motivated. But when things get stuck or move in the wrong direction, you feel that too, and you feel it fast. This can happen in any season, but during liver season, it is amplified. You might notice your patience getting thinner, your neck and shoulders tightening up, maybe your jaw is clenched. You might notice flushing or a sense of heat rising to the chest and head. Headaches start showing up more easily, especially in the temples or behind the eyes, sometimes even right at the top of your head. Digestion feels tight, bloated, or just a little off. Sleep gets a little more restless. For women, PMS hits a lot harder in liver season. For men and women, little things start to feel not so little, and you experience some pretty wicked emotional dysregulation. Maybe you internalize it and start to get really hard on yourself or get somewhat depressed or down. On the flip side, some people aren't so great at internalizing it and they get annoyed, irritable, or as I put it a little earlier, ragey and even a little rampagey. They are in a mood, to say the least. And yes, if you were wondering, ragey and rampagey are correct and precise medical terminology. Sorry to pull the big guns out on you. We're nothing if not precise here at River Points. So, this is liver qi stagnation. And here is the key piece most tend to get wrong. Anger is not actually the problem here. Anger is the signal. It is your body telling you something is not moving the way it should, and it's telling the rest of us to get the heck out of the way. Your body is always trying to process, always trying to regulate, always trying to clear what it no longer needs. But if things didn't get processed over the winter, they don't just disappear. They get stored. And stored emotion does not stay neatly tucked away. It shows up in the body. Tight muscles, shallow breathing, hormonal swings, digestive issues, poor sleep. Over time, it creates patterns that feel harder to break, and you start to feel like this is just how you are. I hate to break it to you, but no, anger is not a personality trait. It's a signal that things are not the way they should be, and you need to do something about it. Anger can be a really great motivator when it needs to be, which brings up a good point. That same energy that feels like irritation and anger is also the exact energy you need to move forward. When you start working with it instead of suppressing it, everything shifts. Patients will tell me they feel lighter, clearer, more patient, less reactive. Their body softens, their digestion improves, their cycles regulate, their mind stops spinning. They feel like themselves again, and most importantly, they stop road raging every time they get in the car and are generally less of a danger to society. This is what your body is after. You are not trying to eliminate emotion, you are trying to resolve emotion and restore movement and flow. So, how do we do that in real life? Well, we start really simple. Literal movement is one of the fastest ways to shift stuck energy. I know, who would have thought that the cure for stagnation is in fact movement? Crazy, right? I told you we were going to start very simple. A daily walk outside is powerful, not just for your steps, but for regulation. You are giving your body a way to physically move what it has been holding. You are actively changing your state. And when you're in a state, there's nothing better than to change your state. Expression matters too. If something's been sitting under the surface, it needs a place to go. Write it out, say it out loud, let it exist without trying to fix it or judge it. Most people skip this step and wonder why nothing changes. Sometimes emotion just needs a voice, so give it one. Your breath is another great tool. When you feel that pressure building, slow it down, inhale through your nose, then take a long, steady exhale through your mouth. That long exhale tells your nervous system it's safe to release instead of hold. Pressure is literal in the body, and we can change pressure by changing pressure. The easiest way to do that is to breathe. Did you know your lungs are just a pressure responsive chamber in the body? Your lungs, along with your rib cage and diaphragm, work just like bellows for a fire. And the bellows-like act of breathing does more than just exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. It's also a signaling mechanism to the nervous system. Use this to your advantage. Food and eating play a role here as well. Spring is the time to lighten things up. Bring in greens, arugula, sprouts, dandelion greens, and my personal favorite, any variety of microgreens. Slightly bitter foods help the liver do its job. They support movement instead of stagnation and can be very dispersing for the body while also very nutrient dense, which your body needs after a long winter. And it's not just about the nutrition. The act of eating, much like the act of breathing, is also a signaling mechanism in the body. It can be really grounding, especially if you use breathing to calm yourself first. A nourishing, mindful meal eaten at a relaxed pace can be one of the greatest acts of self-care in your day if you let it be. And here's another self-care tool people don't think about: direction. The liver loves a plan. It likes movement with purpose. When you set one clear goal and take action toward it, even in a small way, you give that rising energy somewhere to go. Have you ever heard the saying, where intention goes, energy flows? This is literal. Without direction, energy condenses into frustration. With direction, it spreads into momentum. So direct your energy, even in the smallest ways. It can only help when you're feeling stuck. And then my favorite go-to piece of advice: acupuncture. This is where things often shift quickly with very little intervention on your part, because you are no longer trying to rationalize your way through something your body is holding. You are directly restoring movement, and all you really have to do is lay still. Easy peasy. Patients will lay on the table and feel things shift in real time. Tension releases, breathing deepens, emotions move, and they walk out feeling different. Not because they talked themselves through it, but because they got out of their own way and helped their body do what it has been trying to do all along. So, if spring is bringing up irritability, tension, or emotional swings for you, I want you to hear this. Your body is not working against you. It is asking you to clear what has been sitting. Spring is your window, so let's use it. this is hitting home for you and you are ready to feel like yourself again, this is exactly what I do in clinic. You can book online or call the office, and together we'll map out a plan that makes sense for your body. That is it for this week's River Points. If you feel like we hit the nail on the head, please gently share this episode with someone in your life who might also be in a mood. With wishes of wellness and smooth sailing this spring, I'm Dr. Barbie Wasson, your cure for the bad mood blues.